Hello, everybody. It is B with the B Code, and welcome back to my channel. So we're gonna get right into this. Today's topic is the black man masculine or resting in his femininity? And the reason I ask this question is because the traditional black man contributed more to society, meaning he was more on his feet than he was resting. And the modern man is now resting instead of working on his feet and contributing to society. So we have a lot of men that like to sit at home. We have a lot of men that like to dress nice. We have a lot of men that claim to be masculine. But if you really take a good look at them, they are actually resting in their femininity. So with construction workers, we currently have a lot of black men that are working on their feet and that are doing construction and doing jobs that requires them to use their hands. But then we also have black men that choose to focus on online video games, which means they're not on their feet. They're resting in femininity. So back in the day, we had black men, and we still do, mind you, but the traditional black man devoted his time to the armed forces. So here we have a picture of a handsome black man in his Air Force uniform. But then we also have black men who are resting in their femininity by wearing Air Force. So instead of him getting up and, contributing to the armed forces, he would rather rest in his femininity by wearing Air Force Ones on his feet. We have a lot of Navy men that are out there learning, working, trying to be a benefit to society and to this nation that helps to take care of us. But then we have a number of black men who are on vacation and resting in their femininity. Here we have Navy men working, providing, helping society. And then we have black males that are playing the part. They're acting the part, which means they're resting in femininity because they aren't doing the masculine jobs that the traditional black man used to do. So we have their actors and YouTubers, and they're actually resting in their femininity instead of working in their masculinity. And then they want black women to have so much respect for them and be submissive. But how do you be submissive to a man that is doing nothing but resting in his femininity? So then we have army men in their fatigues and they're out there and they're on the battlefields and they're using their masculinity in a manner that is going to benefit the world we live in today. But what black women are actually getting, not that we're not getting men in fatigues, we're getting fatigued men, tired men that are resting in their femininity, and they haven't even done anything to be fatigued. So it's kind of difficult for a black woman to have the utmost respect for black men that aren't doing anything but exercising their feminine traits. So Here we have a picture of a black man. He is excited. He's in his business attire. He is out there in the world and he is making things happen. We do have a lot of black men that are successful. And those black men are unfortunately taken. And what a lot of black women are getting is we're getting men that look nice, but they're resting in their femininity. They aren't, and then when they do get these nice business jobs where they can go shopping like a woman and look nice and be pretty and rest in their femininity, they go and mess it up and they create distrust for the black man because of the things they do when they get these high paying, nice jobs that they are supposed to be taking care of themselves with and taking care of their families with. They get caught up in the materialistic world, and all of a sudden the money isn't coming in fast enough for them, or the money isn't enough for them, or they don't feel as if they're progressing. So, in turn, what they do is they turn around and they rob the establishments that have actually given them an opportunity. So let's look at this one example of how American society has placed trust in a black man, and they turned around and stabbed the corporation in the back.
Tonight, a former Charlotte Bank employee facing federal charges accused of stealing tens of thousands of dollars from his job. And prosecutors say the evidence is all over social media. Photo after photo of the suspect with stacks of cash. New tonight, NBC Charlotte's Brianna Harper now has all the details from the FBI.
Being a Wells Fargo employee, the suspect had plenty of access to cash, and prosecutors say when he stole the money from the bank, he would quickly make his way to the ATM to make a deposit into his own account. One look at Orlando Henderson's Facebook page or Instagram profile, and you'd think he was living large. Multiple photos posted of him flaunting stacks of cash, but federal investigators say it's likely most of this money was stolen. FBI agents say during at least 18 different occasions this year, Henderson stole cash from the Wells Fargo bank where he worked. He's also accused of destroying documents and making false entries in the bank's books to cover up the crime. Over time, investigators say he managed to steal more than $88,000 in cash. Money we're told he then used for personal expenses and even put a large cash down payment on a brand new Mercedes-Benz. But in order to buy the new car, detectives say Henderson committed yet another fraud by getting a car loan with false information. FBI agents eventually arrested Henderson in California. Here's a look at the long list of criminal charges he now faces, including theft, embezzlement, and money laundering. If convicted of all charges, Henderson could face up to 40 years in prison and possibly have to pay more than $1 million in fines. Brianna Harper reporting.
So here we have a man that has obviously worked hard to put himself in a trusting position where he's actually dealing with large amounts of money. And what does he do? Instead of continuing to work hard, he decided that he wanted to hurry up and reap benefits that he didn't deserve because he got tired of working. Like I said, that fatigued man. He got fatigued and decided that he now wants to rest in his femininity. He wants to steal someone else's money so now he can rest and he doesn't have to work hard anymore. One of the things the black man fails to realize is that hard work never ends if you want to maintain a good lifestyle, if you want to maintain your freedom, if you want to uh, teach your children and be a good example of how to be a masculine male, consistent, and keep yourself out of trouble. You have to work hard. That requires hard work. Just like with the black woman and raising her children. it's hard work. You don't get a moment's break. You're always concerned about your children. You're always concerned about what's going on with them. You want to set a good example for your daughters. You want to set a good example for your sons on what types of women he needs to be choosing. You want to be protecting him. And these things take hard work. So, Black women, we rarely get to rest in our femininity. And then when we do find a man that claims he wants to allow us to rest in our femininity, he wants us to be submissive and work hard for his benefit instead of for the benefit of the family. He wants to control your thoughts. He wants to control your mind while he rests in his femininity. He wants to make sure he has his do rag on and his bonnet on, making sure that his braids and his waves come in freshly and look pristine and shining because he's resting in femininity. Instead of him to have a crew cut or a professional cut in his hair, displaying masculinity, he wants to wear these braids and have these waves in his hair, resting in his femininity. So instead of having, men that are doing feminine things, we have a lot, doing masculine things, we have a lot of feminine men out here who claim to be masculine. These men are still taking bubble baths. These men are still, they're resting. Look at them. They're resting in their femininity while Black women are up and out in the world and we're working. And a bubble bath for us is rest because we've been out on our feet or we've been using our brains. We have been, instead of resting in our femininity, we're forced to we're forced to bask in our masculinity because we have to get out there. We have to make sure these bills get paid. We have to protect the household. We have to protect the kids while these men are resting in their femininity. So when we think of the Black man spending time with his family, displaying love and affection, that's your traditional man. The modern man of today, he's more focused on beach beauties and Instagram models and dating sites. His mind is not on his family. His mind is on beautiful women after he started a family. Now, don't get me wrong. If you are a single man with no children, no woman, no wife, you have plenty of time to bask on the internet in your femininity where Instagram models and beach beauties and dating sites are concerned. By all means, do that. However, when you have a family, you're supposed to be resting in your femininity after work with your family. And these things are just not happening. So we have a lot of Black men out here who claim to be masculine, but they're only resting in their femininity. So when the wife is expecting her husband to come home after work, he's not doing that. He's out at the bar having drinks with his friends and picking up other women and looking at other women. He decides instead of coming home from work, he wants to go bask in other women's femininity while he rests in his femininity. Instead of coming home to make sure his family is safe and secure, he's out at the bar having drinks and having fun. Even though he could have a fit and feminine and submissive woman at home, he still chooses to rest in his femininity out in the street. So one of the points I want to bring up to Black women, and I'm going to end this video because I didn't want it to be that long. I just wanted to give some examples of the traditional man and the men that Black women are getting today. We're getting a bunch of men that are resting in their femininity instead of getting out here and helping society maintain their status and maintain boundaries and make sure that we aren't infiltrated by enemies. But what we have is we have a lot of men that choose to look good instead of do good. You know, these men, they want to shop, they want to look nice, they want to rest, they want to do all the feminine things, but claim to be masculine. So, the last point I want to bring up is city life versus country life. So, when you're a black woman and you have plans on getting this perfect man, or you have plans on getting this masculine man, or you want to have someone that will allow you or help you maintain your femininity, you have to look at the environment that you're in. So if you're living the city life, you're going to get city men that are also living the city life. These men aren't ready to settle down. These men want to look good, they want to dress nice, they want to smell good. They don't want to do any hard work. I can't stress it enough. We are getting the men that are resting in their femininity. When you have the country life, you have things, the environment is geared towards family. You know, there aren't many clubs, there aren't many bars. When you see people out, you see them out as a family. You see them enjoying the family life, family activities. But like I said, when you're in the city, you're dealing with city men who claim they're masculine and they're looking for this feminine woman when that is not what they're looking for. These men are looking for Instagram models. They're looking for women that are going to make them look good. They're looking for women that are going to make them appear to be masculine when in all actuality, they're resting in their femininity. So, ladies, I want you to keep that in mind when you're thinking about having a relationship. You have to think of the environment that you're in. Are you in a family environment, or are you in a fast paced environment where money, shopping, and living the high life is most important and dressing nice is most important versus a country life or a down south life where family and maintaining a household is the focus. So keep that in mind. Once again, this is B with the B Code. Welcome back to my channel, and you guys have a good time in your travels and your day.